namely Coconut Grove, Big Pond, Black Village, Rock Crusher, and the Oakesfield community, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank Almighty God for allowing me to be here, Madam Speaker, and to see another day above ground, Madam Speaker. And it continues to be an honor to represent the people of St. Barnabas and by extension the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in my capacity in this honorable place, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I get into the bill itself, and I will be brief, Madam Speaker. Will be brief, Madam Speaker. This is a bill we support. Just a couple of issues, Madam Speaker. And I'm glad that the member for Tall Pines is here. First, let me thank the member for South and Central Andros. Yes, I said it. Let me thank the member for South and Central Andros in his capacity for the minister responsible for water and sewage. On Saturday, I met with a number of residents in the Big Pond community who had issues related to water pressure, still having issues now and then, but spoke to the good member for South and Central, and he responded immediately. And I'd just like to thank you for your response. Those residents in particular said that they have seen a difference and they got relief, and they're very appreciative of that. There is a larger concern from the residents about pressure in the entire community, right? Though, depending on which house you go to, some have better pressure. But again, thank you very much, and we just would like to encourage you and the government to pay close attention to that pressure in the Big Pond area. But on behalf of the residents of Big Pond, thank you very much for your response, and that of the professionals at the Water and Sewage Corporation. Thank you very much. Incidentally, also, and I did mention the member for Tall Pines. In that meeting with residents, there is a concern, honorable member, that while they look forward to the completion of the clinic, there is a concern that with the development that's going on there and all of the preparation, that it's adding to the flooding as you go into Big Pond from Tucker Road. And so I wanted to be sure to bring that to your attention, and I guess the Ministry of Works. Because for the people of Big Pond in particular, as there is developments around Big Pond, like when the road was raised that goes between Blue Hill Road to Thompson Boulevard, in that case, their situation with flooding got worse because the road was raised. And, they understand and they appreciate all of the progress that's happening around them, but they do appreciate that where they sit, it causes some unintended consequences for them. So I just wanted to bring it to the attention of Governor Shaw.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Chair recognizes the honourable member for Tall Pines.
Thank you for informing me of this. I could say that there's two projects that's going on simultaneously. There's a project that is going on by the Pike Corporation, and they have the section closest to the school, and then it is the clinic that is being built. There is a lot of underground cables at the site that we are now in the process of looking at rerouting, and this is the reason why we're not moving as quickly as we would like to with the foundation for the new facility. But we will look into this immediately and speak to the relevant parties and the residents and bring it to the forefront. I appreciate you letting me know exactly what's happening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, honorable member. Madam Speaker, also as I get ready to turn to the bill, Madam Speaker, and there was a back and forth earlier when the member for East Grand Bahama would have asked a few questions related to what was communicated by the member for Freetown. And yes, next week we will have a substantive debate, Madam Speaker, on the issue. But I thought it would be very important, Madam Speaker, just for the record right now on this particular day, just to emphasize the concern, Madam Speaker, of the opposition as it relates to this endeavor, as it relates to the biometric card, Madam Speaker. As was said, Madam Speaker, we feel that the approach that the government has taken, Madam Speaker, does not allow for public consultation on a matter which will significantly change the way Bahamians vote. The Parliamentary Registration Department, Madam Speaker, and the government has an obligation to explain the proposed changes to the public and get their feedback. Additionally, Madam Speaker, we have cybersecurity concerns about moving biometric and personal information from the custody of the Passport Office to the Parliamentary Registration Department.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for
Relevance of this.
Freetown.
I thought we had a full airing of this anticipatory debate. I would object to this, Madam Speaker, on the grounds of relevance and that it's an anticipatory debate.
Thank you, honorable member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was almost complete, Madam Speaker. All right? Thank you. Also, Madam Speaker, we do have cybersecurity concerns about the use of the e-poll book containing the biometric and personal information, Madam Speaker. This won't be long, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. And then what is also the
didn't agree
budget
for that to happen.
allocation for the provision of the
Honorable
biometric
member,
vote card?
honorable member, the chair made a ruling against that, that we would complete that and go back to the bill.
Madam
Moments
Speaker.
ago. Moments ago. Moments ago.
Madam Speaker, with all due respect, no, I'm having a conversation with the Speaker.
There are rules against that.
But Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, we've watched the debate so far today, and persons have spoken about a number of issues, both related to bill and otherwise, Madam
Honorable,
Speaker.
it was not, listen, honorable member, we have had banter back and forth on both sides as it was what East Grand Bahama would have raised, and I think that's sufficient. We will now move on with the debate at hand, and we will debate that next week. And there's a rule against all of this.
Thank you.
A member may not anticipate a debate of any subject which appears on the order paper, and in determining the question of anticipation, regard shall be had by the speaker to the probability of the matter anticipated being called before the House as an order of the day within a reasonable time. Now,
Thank you.
know, I don't like to have to always use the measure of the rule, but that is the rule, and we are not anticipating. We are going to debate the segregated accounts companies bill, and we don't know what the registrar has planned, because that is basically in his hands, and we don't know what the educational system behind all of this is, so we cannot anticipate what it is. So let's move on
Madam
to
Speaker,
segregated accounts companies bill.
Madam Speaker, I accept your ruling, Madam Speaker. Just safe to say, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honorable
We
member.
hope that the chair.
Will say a member shall not dissent from a ruling by the speaker except by substantive motion for that purpose. Let's respect.
Madam Speaker, I accept your ruling. We just want that it is applied in a balanced way. That's all
It
I
is
wanted to say,
balanced.
Madam Speaker.
Member, I
We just wanna
allowed
make sure
members
that it's
for
applied in a balanced way,
almost
Madam Speaker.
half an hour to go back and forth to something that was not relevant to today's.
Wasn't even their opportunity to speak. We were in Coase's contribution.
So, Madam
debate.
Speaker, Madam Speaker,
I did not let them run on.
They had a lot of things to say about it.
You have a lot of things to say now.
It wasn't even their debate.
Calm down, honorable member.
It wasn't even their debate.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, on the bill at hand, Madam Speaker, the segregated accounts companies bill, Madam Speaker, as has been stated, we do support this bill, Madam Speaker, and the overall commitment of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to ensure that the financial services industry and everything therein is both fortified to increase the competitive edge of those in the structure of the financial services industry, Madam Speaker, and to applaud the diligent effort and works of those practitioners in the financial services industry, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just also, on this issue, as we always talk about these issues concerning that intersect with the issues of blacklisting and so forth, I just think it's important, Madam Speaker, because I heard the Honorable Prime Minister say this morning, talk about blacklisting under previous FNM administration, Madam Speaker. The truth is, Madam Speaker, that no government, no administration can claim that there's never been a blacklisting under their watch, Madam Speaker. And I've only said that to say that we must continue to be collaborative in our efforts, Madam Speaker, to ensure that our financial services industry continues to evolve and continues to be innovative, because we know, Madam Speaker, that whether it's the Free National Movement Administration or the Progressive Liberal Party's administration, we know that, again, that there are a number of persons and persons globally, if you will, that don't want us in the business of financial services. So we believe that it's incumbent upon us, as best as we can, to have some unity on issues as it relates to our financial services industry, Madam Speaker, because as we've dealt with over the many decades, it does boil down to a large extent to some of them versus us here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and other jurisdictions like us, Madam Speaker. So I believe that that's very, very important, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I said, we support this bill and what it does for the better protection, Madam Speaker, of investors and their clients, Madam Speaker, and to ensure the limited risk and liability, Madam Speaker, and to, as the member for East Grand Bahama said, Madam Speaker, to ensure investor confidence in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Madam Speaker. I'll emphasize again that practitioners in the financial services industry, though it's been both the government and this side opposite that have continued to extol the virtues of the work that they do, it cannot be underestimated how important, Madam Speaker, they are to the economic progress of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and what this industry means for us, Madam Speaker. And so we find, I know that the member for Long Island would have pointed out some concerns, but again, not sufficiently enough for us not to support this bill, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, it is with those brief words, Madam Speaker, that I end my contribution, and I thank the Honorable Madam Speaker for her indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Azmini?